This is Total Babble. Total Babble. It's a show about music, pop culture, social media, movies, the internet, relationships, TV, whatever. Total Babble. The Total Babble Podcast.
What I've learned doing the show for so many years is that it's very important to be sensitive to the other person and what they're going through and not get too personal on the air and not put too much out there. So that in mind, Emily might shit her pants here today. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
And I'm not saying that to be crass. I'm not trying to be a shock jock. I'm just saying you have been eating Taco Bell or doing something or you've got some issues. And I blame Taylor Farms.
It is true. I do have some issues.
Yeah.
I was a little bit late today because I was shitting out my entire life.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah. I feel fine.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that I can't stop going to the toilet. And so I'm not 100% sure what's wrong with me, but I'm trying to rehydrate as we speak.
Well, it was the first thing that Taylor Farms was the culprit because they supplied lettuce to Taco Bell, and then they had their own over-the-shelf lettuce that was an issue. And now there's problems with their jalapeno peppers. And now I'm finding out that they are big Trump contributors, which is great that now I'm finding this out. They are poisoning us and they contribute to fascism. So now I know to never, ever have to buy their product again. This is a positive. Always look on the bright side of life.
Well, there's a lot of things that they contribute to that it's difficult to find out. Because they white label, they provide the core product for a lot of white labeled stuff, like friend of the show, Trader Joe's.
Okay, didn't know that.
Yeah, Target, like a lot of their
Don't shop at
branded
Target.
lettuce, bagged lettuce. What is it, like 365, or I think that's the Whole Foods brand or something. There's a whole bunch of brands that they contribute to, and I'm not across all of them, but I know that Trader Joe's is one of them. They do have all of their stuff at Costco as well. Taylor Farms supplies Costco. They are everywhere. But also, I haven't eaten any Taylor Farms stuff, so that's
that I don't know of.
I don't eat bag salad
still
because of issues with like this and listeria and all that sort of stuff. I don't buy processed salads.
I, for a while, was buying Taylor Farms salads because they were convenient and they had the dressing right there. And then I stopped doing it. And now I just will continue to stop doing it because they suck and contribute to terrible causes. This is my stand as a consumer.
Yes, good for you. Yep. I think that I just have some sort of gastro bug, though, because my kids have started back at school and one of them was nauseous yesterday and had a fever. And I think that whatever he's got, I now have.
Gastro Bug is a great band.
Yes. Yeah.
Live in concert, Gastro Bug.
100%. I think that they are a punk band. What kind of band are Gastro Bug in your mind?
Yeah, I think punk. Punk came to mind for sure. That's them.
Yeah. I think Gastro Bug are fighting the man. They've got a real sort of anti-fascist vibe. There's a skank circle.
Nice.
At their concert.
Yeah.
And there might be some ninja slam dancing.
Ooh, I don't even know what ninja slam dancing is. What happens there?
Well, you're familiar with the concept of a slam dance, right?
Familiar with the concept of a ninja. Yes, too.
Okay. Yeah. And so it's like, imagine Elaine from Seinfeld's dance where it's a little bit like a fight, but then you're jumping into each other. And so ninja slam dance, it's a bit like a simulated fight. It's a slam dance. It's in a skank circle. It's a good time. Fun for the whole family.
They just had the Elaine competition, I think over the weekend too, once a year at a football stadium. They have women dress up as Elaine and they come out on this football field and do the dance, and whoever does it best wins. It's very good.
I can't believe I missed it.
You can find it on the internet. I'm sure it's all over. I saw a film of it earlier.
I don't want to watch it.
You want to be there live for the event?
I want to be in it.
Wow, I could picture you doing this, actually.
Right? Oh, I love the Elaine.
And it's funny because they wear Elaine dresses, and some women have, like, that was a work event that I think she was at when she did that, and they'll have her put on the work clothes, and it's really great. That's one of the best episodes ever.
The little skirt suit.
Yep.
Yep, love it.
That's what it is. Skirt suit. That's the thing I didn't know because I'm a guy.
Or just a
Skirt
suit.
Yeah, suit, I know. Skirt suit, foreign to me. I've never worn one, so,
As opposed to a pantsuit.
Yeah, that I know. And that's like a women's suit, but it has pants instead of a skirt, right?
Yeah, it's just a suit.
Yeah, why do they call it a pantsuit? Why is it? It's very sexist. Why is it different for women? Guy.
I don't think that it is. I just think about both of them as being like a suit.
Yeah.
I might say skirt suit to be more specific, but I wouldn't call a pantsuit a pantsuit. I'd just call it a suit. I feel like the one with pants is the default suit option.
I feel like women used to have to wear skirts at the office, and then when they started wearing regular suits, they felt a need to distinguish it for women, so they called it a pantsuit.
That is factual. That is what happened.
All right. Well, I guess this microphone is working then. Hi, 1, 2, hi, 1, 2. I got this new microphone. It's the actual NPR microphone, the ones they use on NPR. And for the longest time, I said, it's not making me any smarter. But now I think it is, maybe. So
Caw-caw!
There you go.
I wish a microphone would make me smarter.
It seems to be working. So we'll see if it goes, if I'm still a complete tard the whole show, and we'll go from there.
Speaking of tards,
Yeah.
I was in conversation with my dad, and he was talking about my niece and how she's getting a tertiary education in art therapy. And he said, I don't know, to like teach retards or something. And I had to say, I don't think we call people retards anymore.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore.
You just said like complete tard though, and so I wanted to bring it up. Are we?
I rationalized it because it's about me and I'm not using the whole word. And maybe you're right. Maybe I shouldn't have used it. I'm a terrible person.
Well, that's not where I was going with it, really. I wasn't trying to call you out.
I'm just posturing for the audience is what I'm doing. Because I don't really have a problem with it. But I also do want to be sensitive if people are offended. I'm kind of going both ways on it. Because I see points, but also nobody thinks that I have anything hateful against any particular group other than right-wing Republicans.
Right. And I think back to like when we used to call people in wheelchairs spastics.
Yeah, that was weird.
And like the Spastic Society and stuff. And now it's seen as like a really derogatory term. And I feel like people who are Gen X-y, elder millennial, Gen X-y, trending towards boomer, it's hard to stay on top of what we're not saying anymore.
And while I could go with your argument that, hey, maybe I shouldn't even use the abbreviated version of tard, and I will try to be sensitive of that, I also feel like you have to look at intention and where people are coming from. And I'm all for equality for all people, and you know where I'm at.
Definitely. Yeah. I just wanted to create a little space and moment for, how much are we trying to edit other people as well? Like, it was really interesting. My dad has no hate in his heart for people or anything. It was just an earnest. He wasn't even trying to, I don't even know if he was trying to be funny.
And if I was a total podcast puss, I would just edit this whole section out, but I'm not going to do that. So standing tall, standing behind what we're selling here. And then also...
And another thing. But also you said tard. You didn't hard R it. Yeah, I was the one that
go with the R.
brought in the whole fun thing. Corporate story. One time.
Well, hang on. I need to wrap up the loop.
Oh, okay.
So I was thinking about when I was growing up as a little kid. Remember that Kim Carnes song, Betty Davis Eyes?
I do.
Misheard lyric. We always thought as little kids that the song was, all the beer to think she's a spaz she's got. Betty Davis. We thought the lyric was think she's a spaz, and it's not it at all, turns out. I was singing that as a 4-year-old or whatever it was.
Isn't it think she's a star?
Think she's a spy, I guess. And it always sounded like spaz in my head. Oh, the think she's a spaz she's got. Know what I'm going to do at the end of this episode.
Yep. Definitely do. Yeah. All
anyway,
signs point to knowing what you're going to do.
Going to work story here.
I need set up a Stu bingo card. Stu predictions.
It's so all over the place. There's things on that card that are not even letters.
They're just pictures.
Yeah.
Sounds. Some of them are just sounds.
Yeah.
There's one that's just you shaking your fist at the sky.
Yeah.
That's on every row.
Yeah.
There are many of those.
It happens. Oh.
Yeah.
Really quick, I'm not going to go on with the whole story because I don't like the whole show to be about it. But do you know that at Best Buy, they don't know how to tell somebody to give $6 off on something? Their employees can't do it. If the manager says to the employee, give him $6 off on that, they don't know how to do it. In order to do that, they have to pull up their phone calculator to do the math to figure that out. I don't want to brag or anything, but if you give me any amount of money and say $6 off of that, I can do it in my head. I can sit here and do it all day. We could devote the whole show to that and I could do it, but not at Best Buy. I'm done.
No. But again, pay peanuts, get monkeys.
Yeah, but it wasn't just a kid. It was like a guy in his upper 30s. I was so disappointed in humanity at that point. Anyway, I interrupted your story. Now we're back to the...
You can be dull as a box of bricks at any age.
Never in my life did I think somebody would have to pull out a calculator to figure out taking $6 off something. Never. This is what we've come to. We are WALL-E. We are the movie WALL-E.
Yeah, and it's going to just get worse. I stopped doing the thing where I would give them $1 or give them $5 and then try to get them to give me back $10 change. They can't do it. And so it's just easier now to just not try and help. But Best Buy, if I didn't have to go to Best Buy, I probably wouldn't go to Best Buy.
I don't anymore.
My husband has this incredibly infuriating story where we purchased a new computer. It shit itself. And he booked a repair appointment at Best Buy. And it had snowed, and so the roads were icy. But he drove all the way down there, got there, went into the store, went up to the counter, stood there for what felt like an eternity, only for someone to come over and say, oh yeah, they didn't come to work today. And he's like, well, you accepted my appointment time and sent me a reminder confirming that I was going to come in for my appointment. Y'all didn't think to just tell me that there was no one here to help me? They did it twice.
And the excuse probably would have been, oh, that's just automatic. We don't have any control over that. It just tells you. Oh, okay, thanks. Helpful.
There was no excuse. It was just, they didn't even realize the other person hadn't come to work. It's just so disconnected. It is absolutely outrageous. Although I did have a good Best Buy experience at another one that wait a minute. No, I didn't. I fucking lied. That was Micro Center. Micro Center's amazing.
I do like those people. We have one here.
Shit.
Micro Center's pretty good.
Micro Center is pretty good.
They are what Fry's used to be before Fry's went out of business. They're now Micro Center. I mean, it's not the same company, but it's the same thing.
Right. Exactly. I love Radio Shack.
It's a large selection of stuff and people that know what the F they're talking about. That's what Micro Center is.
Yes. I love Micro Center.
Yeah. So you had a quick work thing you were going to go into? Oh, she just did hard hands. God damn it. Don't do hard hands.
I'm doing it specifically to wind you up. This story is maybe 15 years old. One of my best friends and I, we used to work together for a big company. And we were in the office one day, and you know those Canada geese?
Yeah, in general.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not saying do you know them personally, like know them by name and where they nest and stuff. It's okay. There's not.
I know what they are. It's just not that often they come up in conversation.
Right.
We don't have them here.
I don't know what kind of life you're leading, but they're everywhere in my world.
Gotta be open to the geese.
So anyway, these geese are everywhere on the work campus where we're working. And one day we're standing around talking shit, and one flies directly into the side of the glass window. You know how these corporate buildings are just like walls of glass?
Yeah.
This thing brains itself on the window, like bang, straight in, and it's really loud. And my friend goes, oh, well, that one's retarded now.
This sounds familiar. I think you've told this story.
Have I told this story before?
It's fine. I didn't remember it at first. The listeners won't.
Okay. And it fell down and it sort of knocked itself out. It came good. I think it didn't break its neck and die or anything like that. So that's...
I mean, it came too good. Came good. That would be totally different.
Oh, if it came to means it woke up from the faint.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Where it knocked itself out, it woke up.
Okay.
And then it came good. Okay, anyway. And some lady pipes up from behind her and goes, "You shouldn't use the R word because I have a son who has Down syndrome."
Okay.
Okay, and my friend whips around and goes, "Well, I'm referring to a goose that's just knocked itself out. I'm not the one who just drew parallels between," she said something like this anyway, I'm paraphrasing, something like, "being a retard and your son. That was you."
Right.
And I still think about that a lot.
Again,
I don't
it's
know
intention. Why. Nobody was looking to hurt anybody's feelings. Nobody was saying bad things about people that have learning disabilities. It's all intention.
Yeah, also, people with Downs are amazing. And just because they got an extra chromosome.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway,
I truly look at it as they are people that are just different and learn things in different ways. And also sometimes there are people of whatever derivation in our society that you have to be more patient with, whether they have those issues or they're old or whatever. There's just different types of people. And unless they give you reason to be pissed off, like not being able to take $6 off, then you just work with them and be more patient with them. That's all.
Great. This is where I wanted to go with it.
Alrighty.
With the story, right? Which is old mate who can't deduct $6. What if he's genuinely slow? Like, how do we decide? How do we decide who we have patience for and who we decide is worthy of our patience? And who do we decide we fucking hate?
This is an interesting question you bring up because now I'm thinking about it. Judging him by the way he came across, I didn't get that, obviously. If he did portray that there were learning issues, then I would have been more patient with him. But if that is the case, is that hypocritical for me to think that way? Should I be that way with everybody? But then I think, no, he's in that job. A normal human being ought to be able to take $6 off of anything, especially him in that job. F that guy is the place that I come to. There was a thing that I've been wanting to bring up that we're not supposed to have solicitors coming to our homes here. We pay HOA fees. We're not supposed to have them, but they come anyway. And they knock on the door and they say, we're doing bug repellent. We do your neighbor. We can do your house too. And I always get pissed and say, no, I'm not interested. And then they sell me more. And then I get really pissed and I slam the door on them. I had one the other day that it was a guy and he seemed like he was a little bit slow and didn't have it together. And because of that, I was more patient and open to him than I would be with just some dickhead. And I thought, okay, it's good that you did that, but also why? Shouldn't you be equal with everybody? But then I think, no, you should be more understanding with that person. I could go either way. Either way, he's at my door trying to push shit on me that I don't need, and he should be conscious of that. But then maybe he's an okay guy and just trying to get by in life. I don't know the answer, even though I have an NPR microphone.
All I've just heard is that anybody who's recruiting door-to-door salespeople should hire people with a disability.
You get the sympathy factor.
Yep.
Interesting. This is a new money-making opportunity that would be terrible and exploitive.
Is that, well, or
would it be beneficial?
Or is it offering opportunities? So, as an example, there is, and I think it's the Endeavour Foundation in Australia. Traditionally, it can be quite difficult for people with a disability, and I'll use people with Down syndrome as an example.
Do they endeavor to help people?
Yes,
Okay.
and they give their charity, but they also give paying jobs to people with disabilities and people who struggle to support themselves or who may not be able to get mainstream type jobs. And I think they do something that's really amazing because a lot of people get a lot of satisfaction around having a job. And I think it is very difficult for certain groups of people to get jobs.
Yeah.
So it could be a win-win. I do not advocate for taking advantage of people with a disability. They should get paid exactly the same amount of money if they're doing exactly the same job. Insert rant here, right?
Yeah.
But also 2 birds, 1 stone. they might knock their quotas out of the park because, like you, people are more reluctant, I would say, to tell them to get fucked and to get off their porch than what they would a college kid.
And then you get into a whole ethical thing about what is the proper level. Like, oh, we would hire that guy, but he's just not disabled enough. Do we need somebody more disabled? Because they're going to come across more disabled and they'll get more sympathy.
I hadn't thought about it that way. I was more thinking about it like, can you do the job? Yes or no? And
well, I think about things from an evil corporate perspective sometimes, because that is what I deal with in my everyday job. And that is what we deal with as human beings. We're all just fighting the corporate entity that sucks.
Fighting the man.
Yep. Fuck the man.
Fuck the man.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, man.
These are interesting discussions we get into.
Welcome to Philosophy with Emily and Stu. We're going to look back at this and go, are we horrible people? But I think it's a genuine question.
I think we're good people because we talk about this stuff.
I think we are good people because we do talk about this stuff. But then imagine how good someone would feel if one of our crew who might happen to be disabled, imagine how good it would feel for them to be told to get fucked by someone because they're just getting treated like everyone else. Waited their whole lives to be treated like somebody else.
Because that's all they want. They just want to be like everybody else. And So what you're telling me is I was extra patient with that guy and I should have just slammed the door in his face.
100%.
Okay, next time. Yeah. That is what I will do.
Next time. Also, do you have a no soliciting sign on your door?
As you enter the street that I'm on, it's not gated, but there's a street with a sign that says HOA community, no soliciting, bullshit.
I have one on my door, and I still have people come and ding dong on my doorbell. And I think I might just start screaming out, "Release the hounds!"
And the other day, I was out on a walk and I see this semi-attractive girl and we pass each other and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And she said, "Hi." And she's got like a special outfit on and I pass her. And then I see the guy in the HOA truck come driving around and he goes, "Oh, hello, Mr. Stewart. How are you?" And I said, "Hi, I'm fine." He said, "We had a girl going door to door, putting hangers on the doors. I'm very sorry about that, Mr. Stewart. It won't happen again." I'm like, wow, this guy's making a big fucking deal about this. Whatever. And I said, "Oh, she seemed really nice. No big deal. Who cares?" And he goes, "Wow, you're amazing, Mr. Stewart." And I just thought, what the hell? None of this should be that big a deal, but apparently it is. I think other people get so pissed off about that, and I only bitch about the dogs barking. Everybody is pissed off about something in this neighborhood, apparently.
Great. I've also got some really great news for you.
Okay.
It looks like your HOA has hired somebody potentially with some extra needs.
Yeah, it seems that way a little bit. There's a little bit of that. He's too nice. And I think he's concerned about me because I have the reputation of hating all dogs in the neighborhood. And he drives around in his truck. I know where he lives and I know he has dogs. And yeah, I think there's a little bit of that. And I think he's just trying to keep everybody happy.
You could have stopped at because I have a reputation.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you seen that movie Karen? It's like that horror film about the woman who's the HOA president.
No.
And she like picks on these kids. I can't bring myself to watch it because I think it would make me just like too mad. I think I've already told you the story about how I got kicked out of the group chat in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
There's so many just ethical issues. Here's one. Took my mom to a doctor's appointment because she's old and she needs to go to doctors. And her doctor changed groups. And now parking is weird at this new group. You have to park in a parking structure, and then they have a shuttle that comes and picks you up, and they get you in the golf cart, and then they take you right to the door of the building. And then when you leave, you have to call the shuttle, and they'll take you back. as we're getting ready to leave, going back to the car, my mom being all sly and thinking like, hey, look at this. Look what I'm going to do. She elbows me and out of her wallet pulls a dollar bill and hands it to me and motions to him like, oh, go ahead, give him this, give him a tip. We should give him a tip. Look at how on it I am. And this is a little bit like I was 4 years old and walked to school with no shoes in the snow kind of thing. To her, what she was doing was the greatest thing ever. She's tipping this guy. In my mind, it's kind of insulting to hand the guy $1 and say,
Yes.
hey, here's $1. This is what we think of you. And I was just like, this is stupid. Is it better to not give him a tip or better to give him $1 tip?
It's a good question. Again, you made a really good point, which is about the intention. I love that your mom was thinking about that.
Yeah. Just in her mind, that's a big deal. $1 meant something.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, this is like the changing of the times.
Right.
I think maybe 2, 5, it depends on how big the trip was and all of those types of things. But for example, think about it like a valet service. Like, how much would you tip a valet? If you're going, whatever it is, then I think it's great to tip them. I might tip them in that scenario in the same way that I would always tip the valet, not on delivery, on pickup.
Well, what I did was, and I didn't really take responsibility for it, but I said, my mom insists that I should give you this and that's a good idea. And I handed the guy $1. That way it said, hey, it's a good thought, but my mom doesn't understand that $1 is $1 anymore. And here you go. Go and enjoy your day.
I've started asking them if they have Venmo. Was it a young person?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the cash and stuff now, I'm just like, hey, I'd like to give you a tip. Do you have Venmo? And they're
To
like,
me,
yeah.
that's such a hassle to go through and find it
really?
and pull up the app and deal with all that. And I have Venmo somewhere or something. I have Apple Pay. I would rather just not do it or give them a $5. That's my thought.
Yeah. I would either A, know that that's what's happening and make sure I have cash when I go and do it.
Yeah, I didn't
Or
even
I
think,
give
to be
Venmo.
fair, I didn't even think about it. And it was nice to think about it, but it's like, okay, well, here we go. So,
Yeah. If I was going to tip them, I would. But otherwise, I also don't think you have to tip them in that scenario.
right. Because tipping's out of control anyway. I'm so done with any restaurant where I'm not seated, being waited on. I've now fully committed to not even a little bit of the tip. My organization that does not tip unless you are at a regular restaurant being waited on. It's ridiculous. You pay your people. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I wish they would pay the people.
And it's awkward, but it's worth it. You're taking a stand. Be awkward and take a stand sometimes, people. It's a podcast. You can't just nod.
I mean, I can.
You can. It's just not as effective.
You said make a stand and be awkward.
Yeah. Oh, you did. Too fucking shay. All right. Well, on with some things here. What do we love? We love when people in the media F up. It's so much fun.
Oh, it's fun.
Here's a Canadian politician that may have used AI to write his speech. Give it a
Fucking
listen.
brilliant.
See what you think.
Madam Speaker, another concern relates to expectations. One of the dangers associated with creating advocacy offices is that citizens often develop expectations that exceed the powers actually granted to those offices. Here's a more natural flowing version of that section that reads like a legislative speech rather than a series of short points.
Did you catch that?
Yep. Sure did. He read the ChatGPT commentary.
I love it so much.
Here's a more natural flowing version of that section that reads like a legislative speech rather than a series of short points. Madam Speaker, one of my concerns...
And it
with
didn't
this
even faze him. He just goes. And then he realizes it a little bit of the way in.
reasonably expect this office to accomplish and what the office will actually have the authority to do once it is
Right about
established.
there, you could hear he was like, oh shit, what did I
People
just
hear
do?
that government is creating an energy sector consumer advocate.
So I don't know if I would want that guy representing me in politics. And here's a little bit more of another guy doing the same thing.
You stay classy, San Diego. I'm Ron Burgundy.
Damn it! Who typed a question mark on the teleprompter? For the last time, anything you put on that prompter Burgundy will read.
Ron Burgundy, Anchorman. What happened there? Have you tried watching it recently?
Yes, and I love it.
Okay.
Always with you.
What the hell?
Be done.
Autoplay is on. God damn it.
Do
Yoda.
nothing that I say.
Master, moving stones around his...
How does Anchorman go to Yoda? I don't understand that at all.
Master moving stones around. And so that's Star Wars, obviously.
Yeah.
It's this
It's
scene.
not Anchorman.
It's not Anchorman. I recognize that scene. It's the scene when they're in the swamp.
Dagobah.
And Yoda is training Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you shown that to your kids yet, by the way? You should. It's great. The
Yes.
first three. Okay. Did they enjoy?
Yes. I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you do that and stretch your face down, it makes you look like the mask from Scream.
Yes. That's what I'm going for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm dismayed and I don't know where I was going.
So we were talking about Anchorman. Have I tried to watch it recently?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, I have. I love it. It's one of my favorite shows.
Here's a thing I
Movies.
hesitate to bring up, but did you ever hear that Ron Burgundy podcast?
No.
Ooh. Consider yourself lucky.
It was bad?
It's really hard to listen to. It felt like, that's why I asked if you thought it had held up when you watched it recently, because I haven't, and I hope it would, because I really like that movie. But yeah, the podcast was not good, and they stopped doing it, and good for them for stopping doing it.
I think it still holds up. Increasingly, you look back at some of those things and it's kind of edgier. I don't think that Steve Carell could get away with some of the brick antics now, or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
But I think it still holds up. But there are lots of movies they couldn't make today.
Yeah, I keep bringing up the point of The Office. If you go back and watch the original Office, it is stuff that people would just be aghast at nowadays. They would be demonstrating in the street some of that stuff. And to me, it's funny and great. And let's talk about intent.
But this is what messes my brain up, okay? Because on one hand, we are up in arms around what we can and can't say. Comedians are being vilified. You've got comedians who are quitting because they get cancelled. We're out there cancelling every man, woman, and child for various made-up offences.
Right.
But then on the other hand, people aren't upset about the fact that our president is a rapist, that there's, they're literally killing people and starting wars. They are grabbing people by the pussy. And the chasm that has opened up between common decency and behavior that we seemingly accept from a small group of people whilst others' whole lives are ruined because of it is very difficult for me to reconcile. Do you ever think about that?
Absolutely. As you were talking about that, I said, well, it's where we've come to in our world that the important things don't matter. We've been so conditioned to just be pummeled with fucking absurdity that the important things don't matter anymore. And it's focus on the wrong thing, and we should really be looking at the important stuff. And my official stance on saying retard is that I try not to say it. I would rather not say it. But if it slips in the middle of a show, because I'm talking about a Best Buy employee that doesn't know how to take $6 off something, I'm not going to cut it out of the show either. It's knowing our intent and me not being too sensitive to everything. And if somebody is really sensitive to that, they're not going to be listening to this anyway. So whatever. And luckily, there's a little bit of a secret here. Anything I say ever, I would back up, but I use a form of my name so that I can be a little bit more anonymous. And you're a woman of the internet. You'll have rapists at your door in 2 seconds. So that's why that's why we keep where you are as a secret. So
rapes when you don't want it, Stu.
Oh my God. Well, that was very inappropriate and goddamn hilarious.
It's so funny. You and I text back and forth, obviously, fairly regularly. but I was, talking to you and talking to some of my other friends and things. The jokes that I will make to get a laugh out of someone, sometimes there is like the gutter, and then you can just keep digging, and I will meet you there. It is a race to the bottom, and I'm always winning. And anybody who knows me in real life knows that's how I am just as a person. But again, if it's the intent and stuff, people are so judgmental, and people think they know you, and they decide that they're going to judge you and that you're like this horrible person, and they'll judge you for one outrageous joke and destroy your life. But you could be the best, most charitable, most kind, loving person.
Yeah.
But people will drag you to hell because you call one fucking Best Buy kid a cunt. Not me. I mean, you.
I
would.
would.
Do that.
And
yeah,
I'm more likely to call a guy a cunt than a woman because it makes more of a point when you do it to a guy. It's more effective. And
really?
It seems to be, yeah. Well, when you go see on a woman, it's pretty hardcore and you're really committing to that. I'm not going to say I've never done it. That one neighbor I had to use at that time. But it's
had to. Be
I had
rude
to.
Not to.
We'd had 3 discussions already, and she was being completely unreasonable. Sometimes
Cuntish,
you have
even.
to. But calling a guy a cunt is way more fun. It just is. And while you were talking about all that and just one joke, I was going to make the point that you make that joke, but I've heard you time after time on the show talking about victims of sexual assault and always advocating for and believing the victim and being pro that. So that is a perfect example of, well, we're in this moment now and it's a joke. So just be okay with it and know where we're coming from. And if you don't take the time to get to know somebody, maybe taking that one statement too hard is not the way to go.
I 100% agree with you. And as we're talking about this, my cheeks are getting red because I'm remembering, do you have things that you've done in your life that just really haunt you, that you just think about a lot and go, wow, that's probably one of the worst things I've ever done?
Sure.
Do you have those?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you want to hear about one of mine?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So, talking about jokes that should never be told, here's one about rape. And then I'm going to tell you who I told it to, and let's see what sounds come out of your face. I don't even know how we got onto it, but it was like a casual thing. We weren't even drinking or anything. These are all people. We're hanging out and people are telling outrageous jokes or whatever. And somebody told one that was a little bit about sexual assault. I don't know how I got onto it, but the joke goes a little bit something like this. When, as a woman, if you're getting raped in a park, they tell you that you should scream, instead of screaming rape, that you should scream fire. And I always thought that is probably pretty confusing for the rapist. I told this story is nearly 20 years old. And then the person that I told it to then reveals that she actually volunteers at a rape crisis center as a victim of sexual assault. She still laughed at my joke.
Okay, I was going to ask how she said this to you because that's important, the tone.
But she did. She was so shocked. When you tell a joke that is like really shocking and people kind of laugh like a chicken laying an egg. They're like,
yeah.
and then go, ha, 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 and it's like really uncomfortable. She did that and then revealed that part to me. And sometimes late at night, I think about that and I still feel bad about it nearly 20 years later.
And then I would question, she as a person, what is the need of her to let you know that? Maybe it's better to just keep that to herself. And was she trying to make you feel bad by telling you that?
I think she was trying to help me out by drawing a gentle boundary that maybe I should back off the rape jokes. And to be fair, rape is not a laughing matter.
Right.
But the joke there isn't necessarily comedy is about misdirection, right? And so it's not necessarily making light of sexual assault, but it's making light of the fact that we're being asked to do fucking crazy shit as victims, that we're more likely to be rescued by screaming fire than help, I'm being raped. That, you know, that's the joke, and that's why it's funny. Anyway, we talk about this a lot on the show, just these risque jokes and stuff. It's not to make light necessarily of the situation, but it's to draw attention to other absurdities. Oh God, what's her name? Fashion Police. She died.
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers. I think Joan Rivers did a magnificent job.
Joan Rivers was the best.
She was the GOAT. And she's fantastic. She did a great job of taboo topics, distastefully.
Joan Rivers and Don Rickles were the two people nowadays that, if they were still alive, probably couldn't be doing their acts. We'd have to see, because they were given a pass towards the end when they were still around of, okay, you just go ahead and do that. And both of them were genius, hilarious comedians. If you go watch a Don Rickles roast or show or whatever, there's a documentary on him that's really great. Just one of the best ever and one of the funniest people ever. And people made the point that when you were around him, hanging out with him, the best, warmest, friendliest guy ever, really went out of his way for other people. And it was like, okay, this is my bit and I do it and I'm a good guy. He and Bob Newhart were like best buddies and they used to go places together. And I really like that history of comedy. And it shows that, yeah, it can be a joke. We're talking about goddamn jokes, people.
Goddamn jokes, people. There's a Joan Rivers documentary, and the thing that still sticks with me is the visual and just how prolific she was. Is in her kitchen.
I know what you're going to say.
All of the recipe drawers just full of these file cards of brilliant jokes. Thousands and thousands and thousands of them. And just that sticks with me still today as an indicator of her commitment, professionalism. Yeah, she wrote all of her own jokes. Think about a bunch of comedians and stuff today, anybody who does television, they've got teams and teams and teams of writers, many of them. But she, I believe, wrote all her own stuff.
Yeah, I think most of that was hers, and she had an entire wall of like file cards like you would see in a library if you've ever been to one, and they were just filled of, I guess, alphabetical or by category or whatever of jokes that she had on file. And she had them all there if she needed them. And God knows how many she had up in her head, but that's how great she was. So,
yeah, so great.
Okay.
Joan.
Here's the last part of We Love It When People Screw Up. This is a woman on QVC selling wigs. You're laughing. Okay, I was hoping you hadn't heard this yet because it's really good if you haven't heard it.
I found that funny already. QVC wigs.
Yeah. So picture this. She's on QVC. They have the stupid graphics up and today only use your QVC card on the left. And they're showing the back of her head because she's got a wig on. And she's talking as she's doing the selling. And there's also a host. And here is what she does to sell the wig.
I love to show the texture and this wave pattern. Again, it looks like you went and got a blowjob at your
Oops. Gee, what happened there? And I'm going to clue you in now that I'll back it up and play it again because it's so good to hear. But you'll hear a little bit of hesitation and I'll try to turn it up. And then you can hear her muttering to herself. And then you'll hear the rest of the room try to not acknowledge what just happened and try to get through it. And I feel like personally, just acknowledge it and have fun and move on with it. But they're not going to do that. They're going to try to get through it. Here you go.
It looks like you went and got a blowjob at your blowout. Ooh. At your salon. Oh my God. And it looks beautiful.
Oh my God.
And it looks beautiful.
All right, so here's what's happening today.
I'm jumping in. I'm going to help you now.
We're having a huge beauty sale. Everything ships to you for free, but that goes away at the end of the day.
But it's going to cost you a blowjob.
I will remind you that this is a one-time only price, where the price goes up at the end of the show.
So that's what happened on QVC. And that's good too, because that sells to the really old, uptight crowd and that kind of thing. And it's so much fun.
She sounds about 1,000 in the shade.
Yeah.
Like her little rickety voice. Bless her little cotton socks. I feel so sorry for her. I once tried to say something like success full or something. And I was on stage presenting to about 1,000 people. And I said instead sexual.
Oops.
And instead of saying, oh my God, I went, ha, that's what she said. And then continued to raucous laughter.
One of the radio stations I worked at, there was a legendary story about Jack, the guy that owned the radio station. His son ran it, and the legend was, and it turned out to be true, that he, back when they started the station, used to do interviews in high school football and that kind of thing, and he had a bunch of young high school cheerleaders, and he was interviewing them, and he was talking to them and glad-handing, and, oh, it's a great game today, and he finally turned to one of the cheerleaders and said, so, are you having a good time today? And she said, yes, and he said, straight-faced, didn't even realize what he said. Well, I can tell you're having a good time because I can see your nipples. Meant to say dimples, said nipples. That was a little bit of an issue that went out over the air, and he didn't even realize it at the time.
Oh my God. That is an absolute clanger because that's Freudian in nature. That's not a true slip of the tongue. I can really see how blowout, blowjob, that's a very common slip.
They're both in her head, obviously. Good for you.
Well, you know, getting your hair done, like job, done, did, it's sort of connected. But dimples and nipples.
Those are close, though, at least sounding.
They are, but I don't know if you know this, but they're not actually close on the body.
Hang on, let me think. Yeah, you're right.
Unless you've got those nipples that go inwards. Have you ever seen those ones?
I used to have to go to the doctor for that.
Really? To see the nipples? Did your doctor have the inverted nipples?
Well, maybe it was just a stupid thing back in whatever year it was of, hey, we can get some money out of this kid and his mom. But they were concerned for a while that one of my nipples was not poking out ever, that it was inverted. And I used to have to go back and forth to the doctor to get checked for this to see if it was ever going to pop out and develop naturally, why I don't even understand. Like, if it was inverted, who cares? I don't understand why it was such an issue, and didn't think I'd be admitting this when I started the show today.
So glad you have.
Yeah.
So you had one innie and one outie.
Yeah, and they were concerned, and I don't know why.
Oh my God. You had the Kash Patel of nipples. Like nipples everywhere. I love it.
Wow.
This is magnificent. Well, you answered that question. Have you ever seen it? Yes.
I have personally.
So you had dimple nips, and I think that's beautiful. I'm going to put that on a shirt.
We're going to go with
it for Christmas.
I also had one ball that was off, but that's very common. They check those.
Oh, yes.
And I could tell the doctor, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's going to be fine. Stop playing with my balls. And it went from there, and it's fine, whatever.
Yeah, especially not in a public restroom. That's weird. I don't care if you are a doctor. It's really interesting because the doctors do say, it's okay, you can show me because I'm a doctor, but context is also important. You should be in a doctor's office when he's telling you that. Otherwise, it's still not okay.
You're saying out in the alley is not good?
Okay. Nope. Learned that the hard way. Yep. No.
I still think of that girl that was handling my balls when I had to have the ultrasound.
Oh, I remember
that
this.
job. And she must go home and say, I played with balls all day. That's what I did. And then this guy. And I just wonder how clinical it is. And then I wonder how her boyfriends feel and if she compares them and says, well, this guy that I'm dating is better than most of these balls I see. So let's go with that. Or if it's even a thought. Maybe I overthink things. Maybe.
I think as a member of the fairer sex. I don't want to crush anybody's hopes and dreams, but unless you're a steroid user and you've got shriveled up tiny nuts that are weird as shit, I don't think anyone's going to notice. No one's out there comparing people's teabag.
Well,
I don't think anybody cares.
Nobody wants to, because the balls are the most unattractive thing on any body ever.
Agreed.
Balls are not good. You can bring up any body part and it's not uglier than the balls.
It's so true. You could show me the most fucked up, ugly person ever, and I don't care how ugly they are never going to be as ugly as a set of testicles.
It's very much like a space alien hanging off your body.
It really is. Yeah. And I do have concerns for the older men. Like, every passing year must be scarier and scarier as you sit down and that nutsack just gets closer and closer to the water in the toilet bowl.
I'll tell you this.
Go on, then.
I, before, have had issues, and I don't think it's my issue. I've hit water before, and it's really gross and really disconcerting. Right. But it's more so, I know, because I started doing the plumbing, it's more so with the level of the water, and you can bring the water down a little bit. And for a while, the only way we could get our toilet to flush was by having the water at full risen level. And now that I redid it and looked at a YouTube video, I brought the water level down, and I'm not hitting anymore. Because that, you wake up in the middle of the night, and that's gross. God. You don't want that.
Nobody wants that. And today we have discovered, ladies and gentlemen, why it's called teabagging.
There you go. Make a soup for you.
Nut soup.
Nut
exactly.
Soup.
I can't think of anything more startling than accidentally dropping your nuts into frigid water.
And if you're going to go back to sleep, then you don't.
In the middle of the night?
Yeah,
exactly.
Good.
In the middle of that, I can't think of anything more horrific. And I'm sorry that happened to you. It is funny, and I'm glad that you shared it. But also, whoa, that's
very
awful.
Traumatic. I've been to therapy about it, and I feel like my issues are worked out now, and it's going to be okay.
Thank God. My only question is, who is helping your therapist after that revelation?
Well, the therapist gets therapy, and then it gets billed to my HMO too, and it's just a whole process.
It's a whole process. I wonder how, imagine this, like level 1 support, the therapist, what is in their heads? Those people must be so fucked up.
I think therapists just by nature are completely fucked up to begin with anyway. That's always been the word. And I have a cousin that's a therapist, and my mom talks to him a lot and says that, boy, he's really screwed up, and goes on. And his aunt, my mom's sister, is really effed up, and he doesn't really deal with a lot of that. So I think that, there's a lot of issues with those people too. Probably clinically, they're telling you the right thing, but they also just on an emotional level are probably very screwed up themselves. That's been my thing anyway.
I don't know anyone who is a practicing therapist, but I'd love to hear from someone. Is it the epitome of do what I say, not what I do, in terms of the job world? And is there a lot of mental health issues in the therapy community? The mind boggles.
Because you would think that if you are in that being that you're trained in it, you know that you're in it, but also you're emotional with it, and maybe you can't adjust because you are emotional in it. And that's the case. I don't know.
Deep thoughts.
Yeah. We are thinkers. That's what we've got going on.
Shut the hell away from me.
She is the ultimate thinker. She is Christina, and it's time to end the show.
End it all, Stu. End it all.
I come into these not knowing, and boy, today I really didn't know. This has been a fun one.
I had a blast hanging out. It's always great to see you. I want to know, and I want to hear from every single listener who's ever dunked their nuts in the toilet. I feel like this is something I need to know. This is a scientific study now. I want to know how prevalent this atrocity is.
Dudes, be honest. You ever dunked nuts? It happens. Or maybe not. Maybe I just had a bad toilet, or maybe it's me. Maybe I have tremendous hangers. I don't think that that's the case, but we could talk. Everybody go ahead. You're going to.
I was just going to say, under no circumstances are you allowed to wear hoochie daddy shorts.
Ooh, I wouldn't want to do. Look at me and my Daisy Dukes.
On the next show,
Yeah.
Ask me about the guy that I worked with who wore shorty shorts to a work function.
It's like a bumper sticker you'd put on a car. Ask me about the shorts. Anyway, everybody have a great week.
Bye.
Okay, you know how this goes. Like us, subscribe, tell your friends, write a nice review, engage with us. We're Total Babble on Instagram, on Facebook, on Threads, and on Blue Sky. Email is show@totalbabble.com. The Total Babble Podcast.